everyone, and welcome back to Spirituality with Gabriella. So today we're doing a pick a card reading on your future lifestyle. So if you're curious what your life is going to look like a couple years down the road, then this will be a very good reading for you. And I'm specifically going to try and get information on what kind of work you'll be doing, specifically with your career, whether you have family, kids, that type of stuff, romantic relationship, and of course, just anything that fulfills you. So if you are curious about how to align best with your higher purpose, especially over the next few years as you prepare for this lifestyle, then I will try and get a lot of clarification and guidance on that today. And before I start, I just wanted to let you guys know that my Wizio readings are 10% off until December 8th. Just use the code Gabriella10. And thank you so much to everyone who has already booked. It has been an absolute honor and pleasure to read for you. And then I wanted to also call out that I will be doing a very special giveaway for my next video with another super talented tarot reader. So keep your eyes open for that as well. And without further ado, I will now show you guys the piles up close and get into the reading. Thank you so much. All right, so here are the piles we are working with today. So here we have pile 1 with the clear quartz, pile 2 with the rainbow hematite, and pile 3 with the fluorite. So take a second and turn your thoughts and your intuition inwards. And then once you find the pile that speaks most to you, you can fast forward and get your personal reading using the timestamps in the description box below. And I will see you guys there. Thank you so much. All right, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So I have your cards here in my hand, and I'm just going to shuffle them and see what comes through for you guys today as regards your future lifestyle. So let's see what your future life has in store. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm seeing for you guys with the 5 of Swords is that I think your future lifestyle is going to feel a lot easier than it does today. So perhaps there are a couple things where it just feels like you have to put in so much effort and you find yourself constantly working and all of that stuff. But I'm definitely sensing that your future lifestyle has a lot of abundance, and I actually see a lot of material wealth as connected to this abundance. So I think that the first message is just that things are going to be a lot easier for you. You can kind of take a deep breath and relax, knowing that in the future you will be totally fine. You're going to have the money that you need. You're going to have the people to support you that you need. So I really do see you walking away from your problems, so to speak, when we look into the future for you. I'm just trying to place you mentally when I think about your abundance. So I'm trying to think for myself, are you in a corporate job? Are you having your own business? Are you doing both, for example? So we'll try and get some clarification on that. But the main thing I see is that money is not an issue, and it feels that you have a partner who's also making a good amount of money. So it feels like you're both bringing in money on some level, and there's a lot of growth in terms of that. So I actually do think that you have a personal project that you're working on in the future. It's something that spiritually fulfills you. It's something that you would do in your free time, but you've found a way to make money from it. And so I think you find it deeply fulfilling. I'm also getting that you and your partner are nurturing someone or something. So for many of you, this could be children, it could be pets. I feel that you and your partner are giving back, and it's not really giving back necessarily to like a broad community, although you might also give to charity, for example. But this feels a lot more deliberate in the sense where it's like one or two people that you are giving back to, or as I said, it could be animals. So it's almost as if you have one child or a pet or something like that where you're really focused on cultivating their growth, cultivating their personality really, so that they become the type of person or being that you want them to be. And I think it's very important to you that you feel proud of them and that they grow up, so to speak, the way that, would make you most proud. So I just see that being a big part of your life, and I see that being very happy for you. With the Ten of Pentacles here, this is true bliss, this is true happiness. So everything in your life feels very fulfilling. And it's funny because it feels like you have a lot going on, but it doesn't feel like you're stressed. And it doesn't feel like you're too busy where you can't keep up. It just feels like you have the right amount of stuff going on, and it feels like you are able to even engage in side projects. This is totally random, but some of you might be very into gardening or being out in nature. I see some of you actually putting some of your funds towards creating an outdoor space, like with a pagoda, a patio, making a lot of flowers. I'm kind of seeing those like beautiful setups that you'll see in Spain or France where they'll have, it's like ivy or vines like wrapped around the wood of this like outdoor pagoda, and spending time outside and really feeling like nurtured and fulfilled by that. And some of you might just end up moving somewhere that is a lot sunnier, where you have like an outdoor area with a pool, or just somewhere where you like to work outside, have dinner outside. I'm seeing dinners with family and friends and wine and like all of that nice stuff. So really just feeling very spiritually and emotionally fulfilled with the people that you have in your life. I actually think some of you are going to live in a smaller community, so it doesn't necessarily feel like you live in a city. In fact, I'm going to say, for me, I'm not getting that you live in a city. I'm getting that you would live closer to nature in a smaller community, because it feels like you know people in your immediate community. And one thing I will say about your future lifestyle is it feels like your friend group kind of shrinks, but in a good way. You know, when you're young, sometimes you have like a wide circle of friends, but they're not necessarily all people that you can rely on and depend on. It feels like in your future lifestyle, you have a smaller group of friends, but it's a lot tighter. And they're people who you can really trust, and they're people who you can really call whenever you have issues. Although, to be honest, I don't think that you're going to have many issues at all. It feels like a very happy life to me, so I think you have a lot to look forward to. I see you being a hard worker, but the thing is, it's not that you have to work hard, it's more that you want to work hard to be spiritually and emotionally fulfilled. So I feel like you're the type of person where even if you don't have a job, you still find projects and things to do. You're still busying yourself. I feel like you look for opportunities to keep yourself very busy, to be a lifelong learner, to go out there, discover the world, and see what the best of the world has to offer. And the thing that I really like about this is it doesn't feel like you're doing it because you have to or because you need to make the money or anything like that. It feels like you're doing it because you genuinely want to. And you might even be quite involved in events, like looking up newsletters with events online and just seeing like what is up, what's going on in the local community. You might spend a lot of time going to like the church or the library or just some kind of local hub. Obviously, when coronavirus is over, because we're looking into the future, so hopefully it won't be that long. Knock on wood. but it feels like you stay very busy. I think that some of you are also writing. I'm seeing like someone writing a book, so I feel writing might be something that you're into in the future, or at least you'll feel an urge to write a book. And it feels like you really have the time to do meditative activities in terms of things like yoga, meditation, even, Tai Chi, Qigong, all of that kind of stuff. It feels like you have time to do that and that you like to spend your time doing that. I'm also getting golf. So I don't know if any of you are golfers or if you have partners who are into golf, but golf might be part of your life in some way. And the really funny thing when I look at this card, you could almost mistake that for like for a golf club. So it's very possible that you spend time in areas where people are playing golf. It definitely feels like you're in it's a privileged lifestyle, You're going to have the money, the resources, and the time to do what you want, which is really good. With the world, what I'm getting is that most of your lessons are over by the time you're living this lifestyle. So it feels like most of your karmic lessons are coming earlier in your life, and by the time you have this lifestyle, you are just happy. It's almost the same feeling someone gets when they retire and they feel this deep sense of relief because they know that they'll never have to work for someone else again, and they know that they can do whatever they want. And so I almost get the same feeling of relief when I look into your future and your lifestyle. I'm getting this feeling of freedom and this feeling like in the past it wasn't always that way. It's almost like the things that used to tie you down no longer tie you down, and you're just totally able to do what you want and spend your time how you want it, which is awesome. So I did mention a partnership previously and people bringing in money and wanting to nurture something, and this partnership is coming up again here. So it's really interesting because I think that there's multiple partnerships. To me, it feels like you and your partner are one of the partnerships, and this partnership is always kind of on a slow burn in the background. So that's just like a constant thing. It's never going to leave. But it also feels like there might be other partnerships in terms of collaborations. It doesn't necessarily feel like making money, although for some of you it could be. For example, for those of you who are writers, I am seeing you working with an editor, for example. So just keep that in mind. It could be something like that where they're not necessarily making you money, but they're helping you make your product or whatever you're working on better than it would be otherwise. But I'm also just seeing a lot of collaborative energy. So you might do something like join a ceramics class or, have a group of people who go to the same yoga practice and all of that stuff. And so it feels like you have a good community, and it definitely feels that you're not alone. It's a very different energy that I tap into when someone's alone versus when someone's in a community. And it definitely feels like you have your people around you. You have access to the people you need. I think you feel very loved. You also might even like to entertain, so you might like to have other couples and family friends over. I'm seeing like living close to a big field, and if you have a dog, which I think a lot of you will have, letting your dog run out into the field. So definitely feels like a very idyllic life, like a life of bliss. So I'm really happy for you guys. I'm even kind of jealous because what a good lifestyle, It sounds perfect. So in terms of the Emperor, what I'm getting is I think that one of the two of you and your partner, were in a corporate position or are in a corporate position at this point in your life. So I think that it feels that there's a break from the corporate. It could be retirement for your partner, for example, or for you if you're currently in a corporate role. There's a break that is different than, doing stuff how other people expected you to do it. So it kind of feels like there's a break that gives you freedom. But at the same time, I think you're very grateful for what this brought to you, because it brought you a lot of abundance, and it also brought you, I think, a lot of good friends. Like, I'm just seeing that you have a group of people who you can have a lot of fun with. And so not all of you necessarily live in tiny villages that have like one church and a little market and that's it. But others of you are going to live in, you know, a little bit larger type of space, but it just feels like a small community and it feels like you're able to do what you want. So take that as you will. Whether that's a corporate thing or not a corporate thing, it feels like you might have touched the corporate space at some point during your life and then you leave it. So it definitely feels like there's a break, but I think it's a good break. It's a break that happens at the right time, and it's a break that brings new offerings. So I want to point out that the corporate space, which is in the middle here, and has kind of helped you build the foundation, it is bookended by these two cup cards. And so this is very much about partnerships and collaboration, and this is very much about offerings and newness and a charming kind of energy. So I think that the corporate space, you know, all the cards it's surrounded by are really good. So it will have been a good influence and a positive influence in your life. So lastly here with the Page of Cups, I'm seeing lots of opportunities. I feel you are a very artistic person. You might even like to paint in your free time. I feel like you are really able to just make the most of life, the richness of life. If you want to start your own business, if you already have your own business, I see it being successful. I see it being something where you don't need to worry about the money. It's just like you do it for fun almost. And like, yes, money might be a byproduct of it, but it's not the main motivator. It feels like you do this because you just truly want to. And I just see a lot of connection to nature, to the outside world, to nurturing other people. So definitely friends are going to be a huge part of your life. I feel like you are good at socializing with people. It's not necessarily that you're going to cocktail parties every week or something like that. It's more just that you're having fun with good friends, friends that you have known for a long time and who really care about you and you really care about them. So group 1, these are the messages that I got for you today. I hope that this reading gave you some clarity and guidance. And if you would like a personal reading, please book using the links in my YouTube banner. And if you like this video and if it did resonate with you, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. I wish you so much love and light. Alright, bye-bye, take care. Alright, pile 2, welcome to your reading. So I have your cards here in my hand, and I'm just going to shuffle them and see what comes through for you guys as regards your future lifestyle. Alright, so these are the cards that we're working with today, and I'm just going to go through them one by one and see what comes up for you. So the first thing I'm getting with the Hanged Man almost instantly is it feels like you kind of want to run away from your current lifestyle. And the reason I'm saying that is we have the Seven of Swords here. So it just kind of feels like where you are right now, there's a couple things about it that you don't love. I don't think any of them are bad or really going to bring you down in the long term. I think that they're not really a problem, but it feels like you might be living somewhere that you just don't really like or that you don't really resonate with much. And it feels like you're looking out into the future and trying to understand the better option and the better place to live. However, one thing I will say is I think that it's going to be a little bit of a wait for that to happen. And the wait has a purpose in your life. It just might feel a little bit frustrating at the beginning. So I think this period of waiting, it feels kind of long, feels a little bit stagnant, and it's especially hard because it feels that other people in your life are kind of going on to the next phase. and it kind of feels like, what about me? Was I just left behind? But that's not the truth. You were definitely not left behind. I don't want you to worry. This time is going to pass, and I know it's especially hard right now with COVID, but I feel that there are offerings coming into your life and things that are going to change for you pretty substantially. So one thing I am seeing is a job opportunity. So when we see the Page of Cups here, this to me is an offering. It's also someone who has really just started on a new journey and they haven't really seen everything through yet. And that's both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing in that they're able to bring all the inspiration, the passion, the entrepreneurship, the creativity to what they do. And it's a bad thing only in the sense that it's going to take a while for this whole thing to pan out. I feel like a lot of you are going to get a job opportunity that actually relocates you to a place where you would prefer to live, or it is a job opportunity where you're just going to make a lot more money. That's kind of what I get. And so be open to these offers because I feel that there is something coming for you, and that thing is definitely going to change your whole life. It feels like right now you're kind of in a waiting period, and this thing is really going to shake up and change your life. This could also be your partner, but I think for a lot of you, it's you. I also see that for some of you, this comes pretty much out of the blue. So I think it's like a blessing that you've been waiting for a long time, but the way in which it comes to you and the way in which it's unveiled is not exactly how you expected it. So there's something that's unexpected about this situation, which is very positive. And especially when I see the Page of Pentacles here, I think for some of you, the opportunity is a really good opportunity in terms of money. It feels like you are leaning to taking it because of the money, more so than because of anything else about it. But as we see here with the Page of Pentacles, this person is looking, they're kind of deliberating. They're thinking about whether this is the right thing for them. But when they think about it very logically in black and white, there is absolutely no reason why they wouldn't do it. So some of you might even move to locations that you didn't necessarily have in mind, but you're getting paid to move there, or you are just getting good money to do the work that you would be doing out there. So be open to those things, because I think that once this happens for you, your life takes a very positive turn. It feels like you instantly get to a place that is so happy. The Four of Wands is about lasting happiness. It's about bliss. It's also about partnerships. So I don't know why, but for many of you, I'm seeing a quiet partner, someone who is, I've used this before in readings, but Midwestern values, someone who's just like kind, calm, caring, polite, just like a very nice person. I think that there's a partner for you after you make this move. So if you're still single and you do end up making this move, keep your eyes open, because I think there's a partner in that location who you will end up settling down with. It feels like that person is respectful of you, and that because they're so respectful of you, you are just willing to settle down with them fairly quickly. What I'm seeing, especially with the Four of Wands, is I'm getting that you and this partner move in together fairly quickly. It feels like you meet soon after moving to this new place, and it feels like you settle down together and you just never look back. So I get that your partner in the future is someone amazing. Like, I personally love this person just based on their energy. They're very deliberate, they're very caring. I guess the only thing that I can say about them is they might not be the most exciting person in the world. Like, they're not necessarily a party animal or going out all the time, but that's not even an opportunity right now with COVID. I think that they bring everything that you've wanted in a partner, and they also help you just feel really stable and cared for. So I definitely recommend marrying this person once you meet them. I think you'll know who it is. A lot of them have glasses too, by the way, and this is extremely specific, but some of them might like wearing checkered shirts. That's what I'm getting. Keep your eyes open for them. They're out there for you. Those are the messages I'm getting about your partner today. And I feel like with your future partner, if you are currently single, it feels that this person is working on something a little bit financial, or it's like a warehouse. I know that that's like very random. I'm just seeing something a little bit repetitive, but they're a very deliberate person, so they like that type of stuff. Like, that doesn't bother them at all. Okay, so this change in your life is bringing a lot of positivity in terms of finances. I mean, the Four of Pentacles is about holding on to money. It's about holding on to things tightly. So I think that what I'm getting is that you and this person are going to live in an apartment together at the beginning, but I think this is not going to last much longer than 2 to 4 years. 4 years even sounds like a lot to me, for example. I think that you will buy a home together, and it feels that this home is a very secure place, a place that you like. I'm seeing that it's cozy. It's not like the biggest home in the world, but I think that's okay. I think that that is what you and your partner both prefer. I'm seeing coziness, and I'm also seeing that you're going to have a car. So wherever you are, it's a little bit more remote. I don't know why. I'm getting like a state like Oklahoma. It's like kind of a more remote area, but there's something really nice about it because it's so peaceful and everyone there is really nice. The only thing I will say is it's not that you know everyone in your community. It feels like you're a little bit further out, and it feels like you'll have to drive to get into the main town. You might even have to drive to like pick up your mail from the P.O. box and stuff like that. I know this is all super specific, so take what resonates, leave the rest. But what I'm getting is that financially, you're going to be okay because this person is very deliberate. They're very smart with their finances. And also you will have already made money by your career because of this move. So I feel financially you're very good. You can see that there's 2 pentacle cards here, and then we also have the 4 of Wands, which is the happiest card in the deck. So I feel that you're good. I also think that once you guys move into a house, kids are going to come fairly soon after. I definitely think more than 1 kid. I'm actually seeing a fairly big family, so 3 kids minimum, if not 4. Or you might even decide to have more, but I would say, yeah, around 4 is what I'm getting. I'm seeing boys, but I think you'll have at least 1 girl as well. Just trying to see if there's anything else I can tell you from intuitive messages. I think that your partner and your kids are going to be into sports, so they might be like sports heavy people. Not necessarily that they're always playing it, but I think they're watching it on TV a lot. It feels like it's kind of in the background a lot and that people are like cheering and happy. So just keep that in mind. If it comes up, that will be great. It's always good to have some spirit. And then when your kids are older, they might be drawn to go to a larger university, like a Ohio State kind of thing, just as an example, where there's a lot of school spirit and there's a lot of sportsmanship. That's what I'm getting. So I feel like your family will have a lot of pride as connected to sports, and your partner is the one who is more into it than you, but for some reason it's a theme. So that's just something to keep in mind. 5 of Wands. The thing that I like about this card is it's not real conflict. It's conflict in some ways, but it's not real conflict in the sense that this isn't conflict that is lasting. It's not conflict that damages relationships. It's kind of playful conflict. So what I'm getting is, this is a funny way to think about it. I feel like you have kids, like a lot of kids, maybe around 4, like I said, and there's some kind of rough housing. It feels like your house is always busy. So it doesn't feel like you have a very quiet life. It feels like you're busy. I do think you have some time to yourself, but I think in your future lifestyle, you might wish you had a little bit more. I'm definitely seeing that because you have so many kids in the future, you might be like driving to pick them up a lot and stuff like that. And then it just feels like you don't have as much time to yourself as you would want. But I think on the weekends, you have time to curl up on a couch, read a book, have some tea, enjoy time with your partner. And the most important thing is I think you have a really happy family. So even though there might be some kind of like rough housing or the kids are kind of messing with each other sometimes, it's not real conflict because you already have this. And when we see these 2 next to each other, the influence of this kind of cancels out the influence of this in many ways. So it's not real conflict, it's all conflict that you can manage. And I see one of your children growing up to be very impressive. I think it's the girl. I think that you might just have 1 girl and 3 boys. I won't speak too soon. Like, you'll have to decide for yourself and figure out what happens, but I feel like one of them grows up to be very impressive and might even grow up to do something very significant with their life, like become a author, sell a book, get a PhD, something where you're really impressed by them. So just keep that in mind. The Magician. Okay, what I'm getting is your life is going to change really fast. At least this is what I am picking up on. It seems like you're kind of here right now. You're in this hanged man period. And then by the time you get maybe 2 years from now, everything is just going to shift and it's going to change like very suddenly. And it's almost like if by magic, all of this stuff just comes into your life and starts working itself out. So it feels like you might have a timeline in mind in terms of marriage. It's not necessarily something where you're extremely set on those times, but it's like a loose kind of timeline. And I think that that works out perfectly for you. So I'm seeing a lot of good things happening. It's like there's knock-on events and one leads to the other, but it's all stuff that you want. And so I feel as if by magic, what you want for your life definitely comes to fruition. It's almost like you're the puppeteer and your life is just full of all these puppets that you can control. I know that's a really weird way to put it, but it's like you pull the strings kind of energy. So it just feels like you get everything that you want at the end of the day. The only thing I can say that might be a little difficult to deal with is I feel like your life is kind of hectic at times, but I feel like you would much rather have it that way and have a happy family than have it the other way and, you know, be really bored or be alone, God forbid. So it feels that you have the happy family that you've been looking for. All right, group 2, well, these are the messages that I got for you today. I hope that this reading gave you some clarity and guidance. If you would like a personal reading, you can book using the links in my YouTube banner. And if this video did resonate with you, if it gave you some clarification, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber counts, and I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye. All right, pile 3, welcome to your reading. So I have your cards here in my hand, and I'm just going to shuffle them and see what comes through for you today as regards your future lifestyle. You have a really interesting life. This is what I'm getting. So the first thing I want to say to you is that you are definitely blessed. I feel like you are a very determined person. It feels like you have big dreams and big goals and you want your life to count. That's the feeling that I get with you. It feels like you've been sent to this earth for a reason and a purpose, and you really want to live out that purpose before departing this earth. And the reason I'm saying all of this is here we have the Page of Swords. This is an energy of determination. It's an energy of not stopping until you get what you want. So I feel like if I were to talk to you, I would find someone who is a very hard worker, very trustworthy, does what they say they'll do, and goes to the ends of the earth to do everything that they promise. So I feel like you are an extremely high performer and someone who is going to impress everyone around them a lot. When I think about your future lifestyle, first of all, I want to say that not everything feels perfect for you, but you are extremely blessed. When we pull the star as the first card in the reading, this means that ultimately you get everything you want and more. And the most important part about this is a spiritual mission for you. This is a spiritual journey. It's something that you're not just doing for yourself. You're doing this to help the world, enlighten the world. It might not necessarily feel like that clear of a purpose, but this is really your mission, and this is why you are here on the earth. And I want you to know that you're extremely blessed. So even if it feels like some opportunities fall through, it's only because you are too hard on yourself. It's not because you're actually meant to do those things. And I just want to address this right here, because I feel that I'm not even talking about your future lifestyle. I just want to address this for a second. I feel like there's an opportunity that you really want that falls through. For example, applying to med school or applying to like a Fulbright program, something that is very auspicious, something that you always thought you were going to do, something that your family thought that you were going to do. And when you don't get it, it comes as a big shock. And I think that this causes you a lot of anxiety. And this is where some of these other themes are coming into play. But I want you to know that when this happens, it's perfectly okay. This wasn't right for you. Your purpose is a lot bigger than that. And when this happens, you don't need to try and apply again. Instead, you need to just find the other way, the other route, because there is another route. Now, if you do try and apply again, that's totally fine. You have free will. You are the one who controls your life at the end of the day. But just know that you don't have to apply again, and that there's still going to be something that comes through for you that's going to surprise you and be really, really good. So I just wanted to get that out in the open before we continue with the reading, because if some of you are sitting there wondering if you're going to be a doctor or whatever, I actually think for some of you there's something even better around the corner. So I'm just going to put this over here and pretend that's not a thing. So let's talk about your future. Okay, so in your future, I am first of all seeing a successful career. I'm seeing that you are deliberate with your career. You are very professional, almost scholarly. I'm seeing that your father or grandfather is a very big influence on you. The reason I'm saying this is I got the King of Swords. I feel like you were brought up in a household where career was very important, and I think you kind of carry that throughout your whole life. I think that in the future, this is what I'm seeing as a grandfather figure, but it would be your father, is someone who is influential on your family. I feel like you're always secure because this person is watching over you and they're willing to help you, especially monetarily. They're willing to give you money if you need it. I also think that they'll be really good with your kids. So I do think that you'll have kids a little bit later in life, because I think you'll be focused on career first and foremost. But I think that you're going to be very happy with the family that you do have. And I think the grandfather figure, who would be your father here, is a good influence for your kids. Really helps them understand some really strong life lessons, and might even help them get involved in business in some sense. So I just see that that is like a very positive influence for all of you. I also think that if you are a woman watching this reading, as the mother, you are a very healing influence. Also someone who your kids look up to substantially. I feel like you're the type of mother where you are able to somehow magically do everything. It's like you're able to cook for the kids, you're able to have an amazing career. You're someone that a lot of people look up to, so this is amazing. I also feel that if you are a guy watching this reading, wanting to marry a woman, your partner is going to be maternal, caring, nurturing, but also very savvy in terms of business. So it feels like you and your partner, whoever you are, however that works for you, you're both very determined and you're both very wise, and you both really care about raising your children, if you have them and want to have them, to be the best that they can be. So I really feel that you have good, stable life. I think you have quite a large house. You might be able to even hire help to help you out at home. I'm seeing that type of money. So it's a lot of money. The only thing I will say is I think that You might work yourself a little too hard sometimes in the future. It feels like you're either working long hours or you're doing something that is just very demanding, like law or medicine. But like I said before, you don't have to do that. I just want you to know that if you don't want to do that, if that's something that your family expects of you, but you don't necessarily want to do it in your heart, that's okay. You can also let it go, because what I'm seeing with the star is you are so blessed. The universe, the angels, the spirit guides aren't going to let you do something just because you feel like you have to. So I'm just putting it out there. If you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. If you do want to do that, I see you being so successful. When I see justice, I am seeing law being a big aspect of a lot of your lives. So you might be an arbitrator, you might be in the courtroom, for example, you might be preparing legal documents. I feel like fairness is important to you, having a good judgment is important to you. Running a business is also something that you might be doing. You might have your own practice. So I see you being a very savvy person in terms of business. It also feels like you have collected a lot of information throughout your life and you're constantly putting it to work. So it feels that your career definitely keeps you very busy, and it feels like you're constantly learning and reading new stuff. But this is not stuff that you do for fun. It's not stuff that you're necessarily even doing for personal development. It feels that you're doing this for a purpose of winning a case, for example, applying it to your career. Whatever it is, you have amassed a lot of knowledge, like this owl here. And so a lot of people in your life look up to you substantially. As I said, I think you're a little hard on yourself, so anxiety is sometimes part of your future life. I'm just being honest, but it's not a huge part. It's more just something where you're constantly keeping yourself busy, and so sometimes it's important that you take a step back, do something nice for yourself. I'm just seeing someone who's very busy all the time, so try and be more patient with yourself and understand that life is not all about like milestones. It's really the process that comes in between, which is important. I think that in terms of your house, I'm seeing a big house. I'm seeing a house that has high ceilings. It might even have like a pointed, I don't know what you call that. When the beams are going like this and it's like pointed at the top, it might have that. So you might have like a den area in your house or some kind of like large attic, or it might even feel like a lodge kind of. But I see it being fairly modern and classy, and I feel like you have a lot of nice appliances. I know that that is very specific, but that's what I'm getting. And like I said, I think you might have help at home. So there might be someone at home who's like a live-in housekeeper or nanny or something like that, where they're able to help you out because your schedule feels quite demanding. It feels like both you and your partner work. So I guess, as I said, my only advice is just make sure that you have time to spend with your family, with your partner. I think you do, but it feels like a hectic life and it feels like a busy life. Here we have the Nine of Wands. This is someone who has learned a lot of lessons over the course of their life. I feel like you've had the ability to travel a lot. You've had the ability to meet a lot of people. You are very good at reading people. You are a good judge of character. It will really be of benefit to you in your life because you are able to make good judgments. You might also be the one who decides who to hire, for example. So although I definitely see some kind of legal thing playing into your career, it feels like you have the last say on stuff. So you might also be like a big figure, like a CEO or something like that in the C-suite. You have some kind of important career where people really like look up to you and care about what you say. Sometimes you are a little bit too caught in your mind, and so it will benefit you to just kind of be more calm. But I think that you're able to provide a really good lifestyle for you, your partner, and your family. And I think your partner is also working, so money is definitely not going to be an issue at all. The best part is I think that you're able to travel around the world. So this feels like a faraway dream right now with coronavirus, but I feel like you are really able to go from place to place. I see you staying in really nice hotels. I'm literally getting the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in my mind. So if you've ever been to that hotel or if you like that hotel, I think it's very much in your future. I think that in the summers you will probably go away on some kind of holiday or vacation. I do see you having a second property, and I think it's by the water. So I'm seeing something like Maine, the Hamptons. I'm using examples from America, but just customize that to your country. Somewhere where you're close to the water, you're close to a beach or some kind of seafaring town. And it feels like you do have kids. They come a little bit later, I think, but it feels like your children really like that area and really like being by the water. And they like playing and just having fun there, so that's nice. It's almost like, I'm just going to use this as an example, you might have a house in Connecticut and a house in Nantucket or Maine. Those are like two different examples, but what I'm seeing is that one of them is like a little bit more remote, not close to the water, but still in a wooded area. But yet it's like the suburbs, I would say. And then the other one is in more of like a seafaring town or by the beach or close to the water somehow. So it feels like you have these two different places. Some of you might also be into skiing. That might be something that you enjoy doing in your free time, and it's a good like family trip that you would go on. So I feel like overall, in terms of your partner and you, I think you have a very good understanding with each other. It feels like your relationship is very, everything's kind of set up and everything is kind of in its like box. So I guess just like make sure that things stay exciting and that you stay fluid with each other. But the good thing is they're very responsible, they're very reliable. You are able to really know that if you ask them to do something, they'll do it. And I feel like they're there to help you out, which is really good. And it's cool because it feels like you both understand your own separate roles in the relationship and you really make it work together, which is good. And then I think your kids are amazing if you want them. Like I said, not everybody wants kids, but if you do want them, I think they're amazing. They feel like they're full of energy. They feel fun. I think that you really enjoy reading with them. That's what I'm getting. Like at night, you would read to them before bed, and that's kind of your special time. And I think that they also just love like eating dinner with you and having that time with you. So I think they'll really love that about you. And it feels like you have a very stable lifestyle with a lot of travel and stuff. So it looks like a good life. So group 3, these are the messages I got for you today, and I hope that it gave you some clarity and guidance. If you would like a personal reading, you can book using the links in my YouTube banner. And if this reading resonated with you or made you excited about your future in any way, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.